Hey guys, in today's video, I want to talk about a few things you can now finally do on your iPhone after updating to iOS 26. If you're currently testing the beta, there's plenty of new features and changes. It is currently still in beta testing. Obviously, there's going to be more new features and changes added before the official release. But as of right now, I wanted to share my favorite new updates that you can now finally do on your iPhone. And I want to start off with the lock screen. There's a minor change happening here that I really appreciate. So if we go under customize, obviously you can now resize the clock right there. But not only that, you now have the ability to change whether you want your widgets on the top portion or the bottom portion of your lock screen. And this is something simple, but it is something that I really wanted. And now you have the ability to set those widgets whether it is on the bottom or top of the lock screen. Now listen to this. You can now finally set any audio file as a ringtone on your iPhone. Yes, finally. What year is it, right? So let's head on over into the files application here. So let's say you have audio files here. You see right there, I have an audio file. I can long press just like so. And if I tap on the share icon right here and click on more, you see that you can now set or use as a ringtone. Look at that. So I'm sure most of you guys probably have your phone on silent mode for the most part, but you can now set any audio file as a ringtone on your iPhone. Finally, after many years, you no longer have to jump through hoops, use GarageBand and things like that. It is now built into iOS 26. So this next one's actually pretty cool. You can turn any 2D photo into a 3D photo. It's pretty cool. It also works with wallpapers, and let me show you how this works. So let's go into my pictures. Let's look at a picture of myself right there. Now, if I move this picture around, you see it does not look 3D at all. So take a look at that. Now, if I click here, it will create a spatial scene, if you will. We'll scan the image. And now if I move it around, you see it's very convincing. It looks like a 3D picture. This is easily one of my favorite new features in the Photos app in iOS 26. Now, you can also select the photo and set it as a wallpaper for your lock screen, and it will create that same effect if you tap right here, and you can add that 3D effect right there. You see it's generating a spatial scene, and take a look at that. It looks pretty cool and pretty convincing. Easily one of my favorite new features in iOS 26 to create spatial scenes on your device. Now, I have to be honest, I don't use Image Playground as often in iOS 26, but now that Apple has used and add additional options using ChatGPT, I think I will be using this feature a lot more. So before iOS 26, we had the standard Apple options, which is animation, illustration, and sketch. So we now have Genmoji, so you can select a person and create a Genmoji from the person that you've just selected, just like so. But not only that, you now have ChatGPT image creation built in to Image Playground. So if we go into ChatGPT, we have several options here. As you see, additional options from oil painting, watercolor, of course, anime, and much more. You see we have 6 different options available within ChatGPT under the image creation, Image Playground, which I think this will now make me use the application a little more as we have so many more options. And I think ChatGPT is better at image creation than the standard iOS Apple Intelligent features built into Image Playground, in my personal opinion. So yeah, more ChatGPT integration into Image Playground. Now with iOS 26, you can now finally get rid of those scam calls on your iPhone. Yes, I think Apple did a great job with the phone application adding call filters. So let me show you. I'm sure you get a lot of scam calls every day. We now have a manage filtering option right here. So if you tap this, it'll bring you to the settings application, and Apple has added 3 new options. We have detect call on wait. Obviously, if you're calling somewhere and they put you on hold, your iPhone can detect that. You can go about your day, and once the caller is back on the line, you'll be able to pick up your phone as your iPhone will notify you that they're back on the line. Then you have screen incoming calls. This is easily one of my favorite new features. Your iPhone will ask the person that's calling who they are and why they're calling before your iPhone even rings, and it will look like this on your lock screen. You can see the interaction, so you can decide if you want to go ahead and pick up mid-conversation or mid-message, as you can see right here. And you also have the move to unknown caller list, which is very, very nice. That way you don't have all those pesky annoying numbers here with their annoying messages. You can just go on the top menu here, tap on the unknown callers, and then review all those unknown callers at the end of the day or whenever you wish to do so. Super useful. You can finally do these on your iPhone with the phone application. Now, I thought this was also pretty cool, and you can finally now do this on your iPhone. So when you capture a screenshot, you have several options. You can ask a question about anything from the screenshot. You can do a Google image search, or you can highlight for search, but it does so much more than that. So you can do a search from Google by highlighting a specific icon just here on the home screen that I took a screenshot. It should give me the Apple Image Playground icon results just like so, but it does so much more than this. Again, so let's say you're on a website for a concert, right? And you take a screenshot of the actual, event's date. You see right here that you can now highlight certain things and add it to your calendar, for example. So right here, I can go ahead and add this event to my calendar directly from the screenshot, just like so, as you can see right there. And not only that, you can also do this with translation. So for example, if you go into a website where you don't understand the language, you can actually take a screenshot, right, and go ahead and translate a specific portion of the screenshot or the entire screenshot on your iPhone, just like so. So yeah, pretty cool new features built into the screenshot capabilities of iPhone, from highlighting to image search to translate to adding to calendar. Pretty useful. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about the Messages application. There's a few new changes here and things you can finally do. For example, you can now change the background on a conversation. You can use any option available here, from your own wallpaper to some color suggestions to creating an image from Image Playground, or selecting water or aura options available from Apple themselves, as you can see right here. Not only that, you can now set polls within Messages, something that's entirely new, as you can see right here. And you can also see the typing indicators in group chat. So these are things you can now finally do and see within Messages running iOS 26. Something minor here, but I think it gives it a little more customization and personality to your conversation. So I think it looks pretty cool. And there you guys have it. These are going to be a few things you can now finally do on your iPhone with iOS 26. The software is currently in beta as of the filming of this video. So if more new options and features become available, I'll have a follow-up video for you guys. And let me know if you would like to see that in those comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.